So the Elite Eight was amazing. We got to start with the Arizona-Purdue game because Purdue, what up, my guy? How you doing? Purdue was winning the first half. They played very good basketball. I thought Purdue's pick and roll was really kind of killing Arizona in the first half of this game. Shout out to Braden Smith for breaking the NCAA. I believe he broke the NCAA Division I assist record during this game. 13.7 assists, 5 rebounds. Shout out this guy right here, Braden Smith. A name that probably, honestly, he probably won't get drafted. He's only 6 foot 170. He's one of those college basketball guys, but he is a legend now in college basketball. Asserted himself into the Braylon Mullins. We're going to get, yeah. But Arizona came out in that second half locked up defensively. I really thought that's where Arizona hung their hat on the defensive side of the ball in that second half. And not only did they play really good defense, they continued to play advantage basketball, which I mean by that is getting into 4-on-3s, 3-on-2s, 2-on-1 situations. Top guys like Braden Burries didn't shoot the ball that great. He missed all of his 2-point attempts, but 4 of 7 from 3. Koa Pete continues to prove why he's probably going to be a lottery pick in this upcoming NBA draft. 9 of 18 from the field, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 0 turnovers on the game. I was pretty impressed with majority of Arizona in the second half. I thought they weren't shooting the ball well. I thought Purdue was controlling the pacing really well in that first half. And then leading into the second half, Arizona just became the all-around better player, or all-around better team, which is what we expect from Arizona. They're a team that I think a lot of us at this point probably have winning the tournament. It was basically Arizona or Duke going into the Elite Eight. We definitely have another team that I think is that we have to talk about a little bit, but Arizona is my favorite to win it all, and you could really see why in the second half. If they don't struggle the way they did from the field early on, specifically inside, I thought they were missing way too many layups, contested layups, physical basketball, but they figured it out in the second half when they got their defense going. Defense leads to offense. It leads to advantage basketball. That's where Arizona really thrives in the half court. So 15-point win for Arizona over Purdue with 22 points beating them in the second half. Illinois, Iowa. This was the one game I unfortunately wasn't able to catch too much of, which really upset me. But I watched the highlights of it after. Shout out to Andrei Stojakovic for having an incredible day. He's known as a shooter, funny enough, but 0 of 0 from three-point. He was getting to his mid-range shots. He was aggressively driving to the rim. Exactly the offensive spark that Illinois needed off the bench, specifically in that second half, because Iowa was winning. Iowa was winning similarly to what I was saying earlier. Bennett Sturtz was shooting the ball really well. Tate Sage was doing a very solid job off the bench, hitting his threes. I was just like, I thought Iowa was controlling the pacing and doing a really good job overall. Just for Illinois to come out in that second half, hang their hat on the defensive side of the ball, like I said, cause turnovers, and lead that into good basketball for Illinois. Was very impressed with even Illinois shooting 18% from 3, only having 9 points off of threes, getting to the basket as aggressively as they did, and getting 21 free throws. Finally, a college basketball team that makes over 80% of their free throws. If you guys have been keeping track with me all throughout this March Madness, I've been saying teams that shoot the best from the free throw line, when they get there, are going to win these games later in the games. And Illinois, late in this one, kept hitting their free throws. They never allowed Iowa to get back into the game late in the second half. Dominated early second half, and Illinois moves on to face UConn in the Final Four. Michigan dominated. Right from the opening tip, they dominated Tennessee. And you could kind of see why. The size and the interior defense of Michigan forced 26 3-point attempts for Tennessee. They were letting guys like Bishop Boswell shoot from 3. They were letting Jacoby Gillespie take those threes. If you look at their bench, 0 for 3 from 3, 0 for 1, 0 for 1. Oh, look at this bench scoring. 2 for 12 for Nate Ament, 0 for 3 from 3. 53% from the free throw line. I'm going to be honest, I have not watched a lot of Michigan heading into this game. I did not realize how really dominant Michigan's defense is and has been really throughout this entire March Madness run and really the entire season. Dominated St. Louis. They held Alabama to 77 points. Obviously held Tennessee to 62 in the Elite Eight. Their size, their versatility defensively, their high IQ in passing lanes, really, really impressive. And then I have to talk about a guy that jumped up in my big boards in terms of my mock draft from watching this game. Yaxel Lendeborg, after coming from, UAB. We looked him up on Saturday, actually, a little bit. Coming back from UAB, 6'9" senior. He's a forward. I did not realize how damn good of a shot creator this guy is. He's hitting step back threes. He's getting to the basket. He's pulling back for mid-range. He's going into the post a little bit. Really, really impressed with this guy, Yaxel Lendeborg. I think he just jumped. What I would have him now is maybe a late lottery pick, early, maybe like late teens at the latest. But I think there's going to be teams like my Golden State Warriors. If I go to NBA mock drafts, the teams that are picking in that 10 through 16 range, I've always said it. I value forwards that can shot create in college because those guys turn into better all-around players with coaching later in the NBA. And if you can already create your own shot, you're going to make the most of those opportunities in roles as forwards. Whereas guys like Noah Asenge get drafted 12th overall that don't have that offensive skill set, and you see them fade out of the NBA very, very quickly, right? When they don't have that offensive confidence going into the NBA, when they try and make them into role players, it limits their mentality. Whereas guys that go from shot creators on good teams in college and then find their roles in the NBA, they make the most of those opportunities where they get the corner looks with 4 seconds left on the shot clock and they can make a play for themselves. Whereas the other guys rely so much on trying to perfect their role and fit what they need to do for their team that they don't develop the way that they want to. And I think that's why you're going to see a lot more over the next couple of years, guys that are seniors, guys that are older in college basketball, having more of a prominent impact than those draft and stash 18, 19-year-olds in the late lottery. I'm just seeing it too much recently with these NBA teams that should be competing and should be drafting to win for winning now players. They keep taking these project guys that don't have an offensive skill set, but they have the frame you want of an offensive skill set, but they've never shown shot creation. They've never shown pick and roll playmaking. Maybe they've shown versatility defensively and good transition offense. But I promise you that doesn't create long careers in the NBA, and that's really been killing me recently. And I think Yaxel Lendeborg is going to be a prime example of a guy that can come in immediately, make an immediate impact on a solid team, whether it's a Lakers or a Warriors or even a Phoenix Suns type team or a Clippers, something like that. Like, I want this guy to go to a team with a couple of smart veterans that teach him how to play in his role, but they also give him the freedom to advance his potential in that role. And I just think we're going to see a lot more guys like him have great success in the NBA. I'm so impressed with him against Tennessee, specifically in that first half. 27.7 rebounds, 4 assists, but 0 turnovers. He had the ball in his hands a lot. 0 turnovers there. I'll get that 1 second here, Lake. I just want to lastly talk about Duke, UConn. Oh my gosh, what an incredible game. Duke up by 15 at half. I shut this game off. I really thought Duke was going to win. The Boozer twins. The thing was, though, even with that 15-point lead, Cam Boozer was kind of struggling. I don't know how much of you watched Koa, if you watched the whole game or not, but Cam Boozer was not really hitting his shots interiorly, specifically, at the rim. They weren't getting great looks. It was really just that UConn wasn't hitting their threes in the first half of this one. Caravan was not hitting his threes. Solo Ball came in not hitting his threes at all. And I was like, well, UConn needs to hit their threes to win games. I mean, they're not a team. Dan Hurley is not going to win a game if they're going layup for a layup over and over again. Duke is going to win a game like that. They're more talented. From the opening tip-off, you could tell Duke has way more talent on the basketball court than UConn did. But then all of a sudden, slowly in that second half, UConn starts creeping back. One stop, one layup in transition, controlling the pace a little bit more. Next thing you know, Duke has a couple weird turnovers over and over again. And all of a sudden, I feel like you blinked. There's 3 minutes to go, and it's like a 7-point game. And all of a sudden, I'm like, hold on. In a close game late in the second half, that's what UConn wants. That's what Dan Hurley wants. Whereas you look at Duke over the past couple years, they've been choking. They choked against Houston last year with their new coach. They completely choked this one just because what kills me, they don't hit the three. The guy, UConn, misses the free throw, then hits the second one. They're down by 2. Duke has a timeout and they decide not to use it. Why do college coaches not try and draw up plays with their seasons on the line? I will never understand that. NBA is so different because they're so much more talented. They're so much more controlled at getting the ball up the court, right? But in college basketball, you have to slow these young 18, 19-year-old, 20 athletes down. Bring them, let them have an exact direction on the play. And you could see it. The second that first pass got in, Duke felt rushed. You could see it. They felt rushed trying to get it over. They got the ball to Caden Boozer. He tries to get it up to a wide open player down the court. Wide open player down the court. If Caden Boozer makes that pass, he throws it high. Caden Boozer probably just had to launch that ball into the sky like that one NBA game. And they move on. But no, he feels rushed. He gets double teamed. He jumps up straight up. The ball gets deflected. Pass. Within us, he didn't even think. He looked at the clock. He knew what the clock was. 3 seconds left. Takes the shot. Bang. Hits the shot. 0.3 seconds to go. And UConn beats Duke. Oh my God, what an incredible finish it was. But overall, I have to say, I know Cam Boozer, 27 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. You watch the box score, but you're going to say, oh, Cam Boozer proved himself. I will continue saying I don't love him. I don't love him as a prospect. I don't love what I see from him. I think he's just a bigger body. I think he's more of a manly guy than everyone else on the basketball court. It feels very Zion Williamson-esque, where it's like he has what works and he just goes to that every time. But in terms of actually developing skills to increase his mid-range, increase his jumper, become a better shot creator, I haven't even seen it over the course of the tournament. And 4 turnovers for your big man is really not good. He's trying to feed inside. It's not working. I was not impressed at all with Malik Brown. Not impressed at all with center Malik Brown. Oh my gosh, I thought he played a terrible game in this one. Dame Sarr, I thought he played solid. Isaiah Evans, after coming back and having that 26-point game in the second round. I don't know if you guys know this. Isaiah Evans' Instagram handle, his Instagram handle is "Get Your Hand Up," which is meaning on defense, put your hand up. Well, instead of when the game-winning shot was going in and putting your hand up, he was staring at the clock. Gosh, Duke has so much stuff that, like, it's such little coaching adjustments that could have won them this game. But yet every year Duke finds a way to choke the game out, and it made me so happy watching that because I'm a Duke hater, if you guys don't know that. I'm not a Duke fan. Go UConn. Congrats to UConn on winning that game. I was so impressed with their second half comeback. They're relentless defensively. Caravan is such a great leader. He was 0 for 5 from 3 and then hit a big one late in the game, like a 29-footer. Oh my God, what an amazing game it was for UConn. Just a great game overall. And now as we head into the Final Four this weekend on Saturday, which, mind you, by the way, guys, if you want to watch these games with me, I think I'm going to be here to stream, at least for the Illinois-UConn game. I think that's my plan, is to stream Illinois-UConn live watch party this weekend. Might do Michigan-Arizona, depending on how good Illinois-UConn is, but if you guys want to tune in on Saturday with me, I'm probably going to end up streaming during at least one of these games. Illinois versus UConn, Michigan-Arizona. I will say I don't know if either one of these two teams can compete with Michigan-Arizona. Really feels like this is the true national championship happening on Saturday night. At the same time, it's March Madness. Anything can happen. You can be down by 15 heading into the second half against the most talented team, and you hit a couple good shots and you get a couple turnovers and you win the game. What an amazing slate it was, though, especially that last game on Sunday night, UConn-Duke. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy UConn won that game. Duke not even making the Final Four with the talent level that they have and the amount of money that is spent on that roster is ridiculous. And now they're going to lose guys like Cam Boozer, maybe Dame Sarr. There's going to be a couple guys that are going to the draft, and Duke's going to have to restart that team all over again just to probably choke with their next roster next year. So, amazing slate of Elite Eight games. Heading on to the Final Four, I had to do my recap of those college basketball games because it was just awesome to watch UConn come back and beat Duke the way that they did.